Good morning, everybody. And thank you so much, David, for having me here. Analyze Your Trade this is my favorite show where I get to talk about my passion, which is trading. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anka Metcalf, and I'm the CEO and founder of TradeOutloud.com. I have been trading for over 25 years. I have been on the investing side, the day trading side for both equities and futures. I have been trading Forex as well for a really long time. And I'm really looking forward to analyzing some trades today. All right, so Sam is coming up with the first one, which is plus. All right, let's get to it. All right, so let's take a look at plus right here. And we're going to go far out. We're going to go to a monthly chart. I always do a top-down analysis to see what is going on and what the trend is, and if it's respecting the power trend or if it's just trending. So I can see here that it has been sideways for a very long time, actually for a few years since so basically from 2017 until the breakout in 2023. We had a little bit of a breakout here in 2021, and then it came back into the pattern, and then it broke out, retested the 10 EMA, so it's into a power trend. We have the nice fanning out of the moving averages, so that this gives much more power to the upside. I'm a little bit concerned about the candle that basically we're going to be closing this Thursday in a couple of days, because it is a doji candle. It is very extended from minor support and the trend line with the trend MA, which is into the 84, 85 bucks. So it's going to be actually pretty simple because the price action is basically closing very close to where it had opened a month ago. I don't think there are going to be any major changes as we're going into the next couple of days. I would be bullish over the high going into the new month, going towards November 1st or November 4th. Which is the beginning of a brand new week. I would be bullish above this high, so over the monthly high, and I would be bearish, but temporarily bearish. It would be like a very short-term type of pullback retracement, and that is under 94. So under 94, there's a very strong chance that it may pull back into the $86. From the weekly, you can see here that we haven't had any activity for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks since this pop-up. So like I said, we need a couple of more, a few more days, and we're wrapping up the month, and also we're wrapping up the week, and we're going to have another sideways week, but definitely holding on very strong. It's definitely coiling, so that means that it's building a lot of pressure. So more so, it's going to be bullish over this high that I just mentioned from the monthly chart. And from the daily perspective, still very much sideways. You can see here the level of support that we have into the 94 that we have been discussing. Here it is. You also have a minor support zone, which is deriving from this prior pivot high right here. So you have two very strong levels of support. The price action is still very much trending. You can see here that we have a beautiful trend line that is holding the price action. So this should, if this should hold, we should see more upside. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, an entry over the last 2 to 3 day highs into the $100, I would say the 99.27, above 99.27 could give you an early entry. So the only way I would do this personally would be to get half in into the core of the range, so over 99.27, at the rest at the breakout. I'm a little bit concerned. I don't like the low volume. It's not something that I would trade. I have very strict criteria for volume. Volume is extremely low. It means that it doesn't have a lot of institutional participation. All right, the next one is PLTR. All right, and of course, we're going to start top down. PLTR has been massive. I have been trading PLTR as well. Look at the quarter, by the way, right here. It just initiated continuation. You can see here that we are trading into resistance, and this is actually from, here it is. This is actually from the first quarter of 2021. We are just there right now. So this is where the IPO came out in 2020. This is where we have the high, and the price action is right into resistance at this $45. The monthly chart, you can see it here clearly into resistance, clear surge. So I'm expecting a continuation higher as we're going into November and December. This is going to be a very hot pick for window dressing that is going to be later in December. Super hot pick. If it takes out the 45, it could actually start moving way, way, way higher. And if you're asking how high can this pattern go, I'm going to do some projections. Let's just see how high it can go. So it could go as $55, $70. So these would be two immediate targets for it. As far as the daily, like I said, the daily is having a little bit of slowdown right here. It may remain sideways into the end of the month. Remember that on the 31st, not a lot of action goes into stocks because you have a lot of calibration that is happening into the last day of the month. Therefore, you're going to see that recalibration coming on Friday. And of course, on the 4th, on Monday, that is when everything is going to clear out and we're going to be ready to go back in business. But it's definitely holding on the power trend on the 10 EMA. Super, super bullish. If you're in, just stay in. If you're not in, just wait for a pullback because it's just power trending. Power trending. It's a beautiful stock. I have been trading it this year a lot, swing trading it. The next stock that we have on tap is McDonald's, which is very interesting long-term. I love it long-term, Carl. And I like it even for a swing. So McDonald's has some problems, and I'm going to start here with a daily chart because I'm going to start with the problems. So McDonald's had some E. coli issues. I understand that there was somebody that died from it. It is definitely very tragic, but if you guys recall with Chipotle years ago, Chipotle had several cases with E. coli, and the stock is very strong, right? So unfortunately, right, the tragedy of a human dying is not going to be reflected on the chart and on the fundamentals of the chart. This is still a very, very strong company and has been very strong for a very long time. This is the reaction from that particular news. And I was at the trading room and I was talking to my traders and I said, I know, you know, regardless of how tragic it is, this could be a really strong buying opportunity for it. And I said, let's wait until the day closes on the date that it had happened. And when the news came out, and we want to be bullish over these highs. And we would look for a pullback, further pullback below these lows right here. So we have it pretty much bracketed. So it's going to be bullish over 303. I even said it today in the trading room because it had earnings today and it punched into the 303. So it's very bullish over 303. It's going to start, you know, being a little bit more turbulent as it's getting into a confluence resistance from the prior highs and also from this declining 20 SMA. Remember that all these declining moving averages are have tons of built-in algos that are rejecting the price at that point. And if we're getting a surge in volume, then we're going to start breaking that level immediately. So again, this is a very robust company. And I'm still standing with bullish over 303. We need to get over the first level, which is going to be the first target into the 306. We break 306, we're going to see back the all-time highs. And of course, if we start pulling back, but by the way, here, I just wanted to show you very quickly, look at the massive area of support that we had. So when it gapped down on support, it didn't really collapse. So it was a very controlled selling into it because the big hands, the big investors, the suit on Wall Street are not selling based on an E. coli issue. So very strong support deriving from these prior highs from August. And, you know, it was a very controlled action that we had here. So obviously, if we start trading below 290, we could see a pullback. The pullback is not going to be into the path of least resistance. It's going to be, again, a very controlled sell. that could lead the price into the 284 and back into the 200. As long as it's trading above the 200, institutions love it, and they're still going to hold positions into it. So I really hope that helped, Carl. CIBR is the next one. CIBR, here we go. All right. Oh, I want to go back to McDonald's here because I want to show you something very interesting. This is a quarterly chart, and you can see because of the news that was reflected in price action, we're getting a bit of a pullback. But notice that the pullback here is into the Q2 of 2023. So it's still trading into support, and it's still power trending, still have tons of room for the upside for projections. All right, now I'm going to go to that CIBR. All right, so CIBR, again, very low volume. It's not my cup of tea here. I only trade stocks that are above 1.5 million shares traded. But that's my personal preference. That works for me. This is actually very, very bullish. You can see I like the fact that it's really mimicking the Qs, right? Because it's First Trust NASDAQ Cybersecurity ETF. I like the fact, so it's literally mimicking. If I'm going to show you a chart of the Qs, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I like the fact that it's trying to rotate here. The trend line is right on point. This is ascending support. This is very, very powerful. We do have a higher low rate here. So that means that the price action is not violating by anything the massive uptrend that is into right now. And we do have the minor support here, which is in line with the fact that it would be above the 50 SMA rate here into the $59. Very strong at this point. If you're not in any kind, so at this point you can leg into this. I would say, it depends on your risk tolerance. So I'm not going to give you any ideas, but best we're having so far an inside week, very common for the end of the month. I would say look into it on Monday. If you're in, stay in. If you're not in, this is a good opportunity to buy it with a first targeted for a shorter term swing into the $63. Shorter term swings means like anywhere between 2 days and a week or so. Medium swing is beyond 2 weeks, and there are longer term swings and investments that are a little bit longer than that. But this would qualify for a very short swing. Stuart, the only thing that I don't like about this is the volume. Okay, the only thing that I don't like it. So that may be very spready. If you're looking at the spread, if you have a level 2 up, look at the spread, and you can see what I'm talking about. Disney, next one. All right, so Disney, as you can see, I have been working on this chart. We have a massive level of resistance, which is right here where we are trading right now. And this level of resistance is coming from last year, from November of last year. We had a peak right here. We broke out, we came back in, we broke down. So this was the happening place. This was the breakout point, and it was the breakdown point. And we're now digesting the similar point. This is, and actually the pattern is quite bullish because we have the low set in and it has changed the trend. So it's not downtrending anymore. It has switched from downtrending to uptrending. So we have a bottom, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, and we have a new higher low creation right now that actually within, not really, we didn't really punch in. We really need to rotate. We haven't rotated yet. So if the price is going to get over 96.85, that is going to be the confirmed higher low. So far we have a low, higher low, higher low. And this is pending because the price action needs to get over 96.85 in order to start moving higher. And your next projected target is going to be into obviously the prior low right here, which is into the 99. And then you're shooting for the 200 SMA onto the daily chart. So I hope this helped with Disney. Nvidia, I have to say, I am loaded with Nvidia. I love it so much. It is a great, great, great stock with a great projection. It should be running a lot higher. It has been basing for some time. You could see that I did a lot of work on it. So it has been consolidating since October 17th. So literally for about close to 2 weeks here. really nice and pretty, sitting here into this base. It's very bullish over 144.50. Under 136.78, it's going to start pulling back. We do like the fact that it is uptrending massively. We do have the low, we have the higher low, we have the higher low right here, and we have another higher low from the base. I'm going to adjust this very quickly right here. So we do have the transition for higher. It's trading above the 10 exponential moving average, which means that it has plenty of power to start moving and start going for a breakout over 144.50. Like I said, pay very close attention. This is not a buy zone here. You either buy it above the base or you wait until it breaks down and it rotates again. So the only buy place here that I see is 144. I have been in this for a very long time. I'm going to show you some stats, and you can see I have been adding to it and adding to it. Volume is fantastic in the video. You don't have to worry about anything. And it is very hot. It's very hot. And I want to show you something very important right now, because when you're heading into and when you're trading the last quarter of the year, this is very different than how you trade and the modalities, the strategies that you apply in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. The fourth quarter is different. Okay, so in the fourth quarter, what you want to do is you want to focus on stocks that have been power trending. You don't want to focus on stocks that are dipping lower, because you don't want to buy the dip in November and December. You don't, because what institutions do is they window dress. And what they have the tendency of doing is ease out of these positions, and they're doing it in the end of each month. They're going to be selling into the 31st, October 31st. They're going to be doing the same thing on November 30th. And from these points, they're easing out for tax purposes. They're eliminating the losers that you have. So they're getting rid of their losers and they're jumping in power trends. This is the type of stock that they're going to be jumping into. NVIDIA, take a look at NVIDIA, is trading this in the all-time high. This is an inside candle, inside and out on the quarterly, very, very strong. This is going to be a power play as we're heading into the end of the year. No doubt about it. So yes, this bullish activity right here over 144.50 is right on point. All right, this NVIDIA, the next stock is IOVA. All right, so IOVA, again, it has seen better days. It's just like Disney in many, many ways. It has tons of support into this level right here of about $7. I love the price point. I love the price point. You don't see a lot of stocks that are $10, $20 or so, or even $50. So between, let's say, $5 and $20 or $50, you don't see a lot of stocks. I like the fact that the price action is improving. We have had a double bottom formation, the first bottom in July, the second bottom in August. And that was the start point of a move a little bit higher. So as you can see here, we have this low and we have been striving to make higher lows. In many ways, this is the pattern is very similar to Qualcomm. If you have looked at that, it's still struggling with the 200 SMA. Same with this one. Finally, a couple of days ago, it got above. So it pinched a little bit above. You can see where the candles are at. And this looks a little bit higher. It's still not yet out of the woods. It still has a lot of resistance. You can see where the resistance is coming from. So the reason why the price action is not exuberating right now, a lot of strength, is because it is pinned into the bottom here of April 22nd, 2024. This is support, translation into resistance. See, the last time when it came off the bottom, it came into this high and then it went back down. So this is the breakout point, and really needs to digest the $11 to $12 in order to start moving higher. But other than that, not bad. I also want to look at the quarterly chart. This is very, very important. Pay attention to this level, write it down, because this is going to help you tons. At some point in time throughout this quarter, or even the next quarter, so I'm thinking January towards next March, if we trade, and if this stock trades over $12.50, it will go straight up to about $18. It will have that clearance because it will have been breaking that resistance. Notice that the price here has closed in the last quarter just below this 10 EMA. And right now the price action is doing nothing else but trying to hold and trying to digest the 10 EMA, try to grip on into it, lift a little bit higher. And again, the breakout point is going to be $12.50. But before that, like I said, it's still looking very, very strong. It's changing. And also on the weekly, you can see where the 1250 is, and you can see the targets right here into the $14 and back into the $18. So it could have a lot of room for the upside. It has already executed a weekly rotation. So at any point here, if you want to get in, if you're not in, this is actually a buy zone, and the stop would go under $8.74. All right, DJT. Ooh, DJT is hot. Okay, it is super, super, super hot. Okay, so what we have going on right here, and I'm going to go here onto the monthly first to show you how powerful these monthly triggers are, these monthly rotations. This was the start point. So if you're wondering, gee, I wonder when that happened. So why did this go so high, right? So there are other reasons, but we're talking about the technical reasons, right? So we do have massive support here. There's no doubt about it from the IPO, right? So this is the line in the sand. This is where we started. The price action moved up. So we do have some resistance here into the highs, right? So you can see here the line in the sand, right? So basically we had a secondary high, right? So this is going to represent one of the targets as we're moving higher. And the reason why it snapped here is because it did the same thing that it did back in January 2024, right? You can see here that we have the line in the sand. Here we have. So we have the same rotation, higher time frame rotation is what is so important right now. And we have the power surge up. We didn't really have the tap into the resistance, the first area resistance of $100. But now we're looking very bullish. Okay, let me take a look at the weekly for you. And I have been in this stock for some time right now. Okay, so basically right now, as you can see, we're trading into resistance. So as we're trading in resistance, things are going to get a little bit slower. However, based on each and every single week that closes and every single month that closes, and the more we leave no wicks above, we can have an easier transition higher. So that means that if we're going to be closing this week, even where we are trading right now, or as close as the high, or even make a new high into Friday, right? Because that's when the week is going to end. We can have an open and a continuation higher. That'll bring more buyers to the table. There are little technical tricks that you need to know. All right, so I hope that helps. And the projected targets, you already have them right here. So like I said, the next target is going to be into 56. And then we're looking for 70 and $100 for DJT. This is the transition. This is the daily chart, by the way. Daily is insane. Take a look at this. Wow, awesome. I like it because I have it a long term, so I really do. All right, so Pat is asking about hack. And by the way, look at the volume that we're getting here. This is what you want to see. You want to see volume, you want to see participation. You don't want to be in a low volume stock where it's dormant, it's slippery, it's it has, a wide spread. You don't want that. Okay, so hack. Okay, so cybersecurity again. The same thing we actually discussed about another stock very similar to this. This is an uptrend, very bullish onto the daily, very bullish onto the weekly as well. The weekly actually is going to become very, very bullish over last week's high of $71.82. So that is the breakout zone for it. It's working on its way higher. So it does have room to grow higher. And let me just show you how high this can go if you're interested on some projection and say, hey, where's this going? Okay, so the first target is going to be into the 73 box, but then you have another target that is wide. This is a longer term swing. You heard me of a short term swing. This is a longer term swing, and this is into the 80 bucks to 82 bucks. So hack looking very good, very bullish. Hey, Dennis, Broadcom. Okay, this is the second stock that I'm loaded in. All right, this is gorgeous because First of all, it has a really high dividend. So it pays you to hold it, even if it doesn't really move a lot within a month, right? Because we didn't really see a lot of progress. Let me put it here into the monthly. You didn't really see a lot of progress. It made a new high, but right now it's very close to where it closed last month. But you're still getting those dividends. So it really, really helps with your portfolio. And you're going to reinvest that, whatever you're getting from your dividend, you're going to reinvest in the stock. So Broadcom is trading again into a lot of support. So you can see here the low, higher low, and it's trading very bullishly. You can see that always, you're looking for a direction for higher. Again, this was earnings here, earnings disappointed here in September, and the stock gapped down, but take a look at where it gapped down to. So it gapped down right into the 200 SMA. This similar type of scenario, not the similar formation in the chart, but you're seeing the similar type of psychology into Broadcom that we just talked about, McDonald's, right? So as unfortunate it is that people died because of E. coli, it's still a buy opportunity. And investors are seeing any kind of dip in these very strong stocks, especially dividend stocks, they're seeing an opportunity. And they're seeing the opportunity for higher. The same thing here in Broadcom. They saw the opportunity. The rotation came off the 200 SMA and actually came over 141 and 142 level. And here it is right now. And again, it still has a lot of room into earnings. Earnings are December 5th. It's holding very strong. This is a level of minor support. So this is a very good level for a potential continuation higher. We also have this high here that we need to worry a little bit about because this is resistance. So once we take out this ultimate high of 178 or so, we should start seeing new all-time highs. And obviously first things first, so we need to see a tap into the high, into the 186.42, and then when we tap this out, then we have even short-term and long-term very strong potential moves to the upside. And if you're wondering about further targets, I'm seeing a projection into 191 and 197. So that is very, very, very strong. Very strong. I still have it. I love the dividend in it. I have it in my swing trading account, and I have it in my IRA. I have it in my long-term account. So I have it all over. Silver. What kind of silver are you looking for? Are you looking for futures or SLV? I'm just going to put SLV right here. So silver, very bullish context, and silver and gold, typically metals are going to make a splash, and they usually make a splash right ahead of election. They are seen as a safe haven, so they want to park their money into something that is a little bit more solid. Bonds have not been performing that well, so silver is seen as the only option for now. So silver and gold, they're both very, very bullish. As you can see, the quarter here in silver has not made a new high, so it's not as hot as gold, okay? But silver has not made a new high, but it still has room to go into the 34 bucks. Level that has not been into since 2012, okay? So since 2012. But it does have room. If we start moving higher, we may have a continuation to 40 bucks and very close to 50 bucks. You can see here that we've done a lot of progress in silver. So we have a solid bottom here just above the $10. We have a higher low, and we have a higher low right here, very close to the $19. And we have the break of the first level of resistance. So we're transitioning into the 34 bucks. This is the next target that we have. One more and we're done here. Okay, so this is the Qs. And by the way, one more thing that I wanted to add is that gold and silver are going to make really big splashes into election day. Okay, so be careful with that if you're holding the position. All right, this is the Qs, and again, Qs, low, higher low, and a higher low formation. Qs are going to go back into the 504, 505. It is one of the major indices, major ETFs that has not made a all-time high splash, just like the Dow and the S&P, but it's really going to go higher. It has projections to $515. And this is a wrap.
Hey, Anka, sorry. Okay, thank you.